Hey there, I'm Curly, and welcome to Unfiltered and Undiscovered, the podcast where three music lifers dig into the songs, the stories, and the legends of music that may not have crossed your radar yet. But if you're new here, let me set the scene. I'm the punter, the guy who swears that the best music, the best Australian independent music, was in 1986. I've got the record collection to prove it. Now, joining me each week, I've got Braggy. He's a lifelong muso, a dreamer that's still waiting for that one song of his to go viral. He knows his stuff and he loves digging into lyrics. And of course, we've got Rossy. Rossy, the roadie, the manager, and the guy with a story about every band that's ever plugged into a pub PA system anywhere from Perth to Parramatta. Together, we get unfiltered with the best undiscovered artists across Australia and occasionally the world. And occasionally, we also talk a whole lot of rubbish around artists that we already love. Let's get into it.
Hey y'all, I'm Allison Asarch from Nashville, Tennessee.
Hey, I'm Sean Fraser from the Ritzy Kids.
Hunters, this is Johnny from Rail Motor.
Hey, it's Shane from Blind Season.
Hey, it's Rob Stanier, and you can check out my music on all the streaming platforms.
Check out my latest music on all the streaming sites.
Check out my debut album on all streaming platforms.
Check out our new debut album.
Check us out on Spotify and Apple Music. And you're listening to our friends, Braggy and Curly.
And my
Rossy.
favorite bands from Australia.
My two favourite podcasters,
Braggy and Curly.
Braggy and
Rossy.
Curly.
On the
Unfiltered and Undiscovered podcast.
And Rossy.
Kick it off. Hey there, everyone. It's Curly here, and welcome to episode 209 of the Unfiltered and Undiscovered podcast. We are three old blokes with one obsession, and that's music that matters. We have unfiltered chats with largely undiscovered artists. Every week on the pod, it's guitars, grit, and the good stuff that you're unlikely to hear on mainstream radio. This is Unfiltered and Undiscovered, and wherever you're listening and watching, please hit the like and subscribe button as it helps more people find us. Hey guys, we've got a very special guest. Welcome to Braggy and Rossy. Welcome back, Rossy. We missed you Wednesday night. You've been in the recording studio with Jupiter 5, but it's great to have you back because we do have a very special guest from the United States, and we love it when we have international artists join us that we can share with our Australian audience. We are really pleased to have the Quarantine on. We've got Sean Martin from the Quarantine. They're a punk rock grunge metal band, and they've got a new album coming out called The Aversion to Normalcy. Oh my God, what a name. It's a global worldwide release on November 12th. Welcome to the podcast, Sean. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks so much for having me. I really appreciate it. It's great to be here.
Good, lovely to see you all the way from Kentucky, mate.
It's good to have you. Well, I kick it off.
Absolutely, Braggy. Off you go.
Normally, Sean, I like to ask people where they when they first got into music, but having listened to your music and kind of read a bit of your backstory, everything seems so complex. So, can you kind of fill us in on your background and how we got to where we are now?
Sure. I started singing when I was 4 years old in community choirs, and then not too long after that, I got into opera, and so I started to learn how to really project with your voice. And then I was doing chorus through middle school and high school, and I picked up guitar when I was 12. And started putting together the singing and playing thing, and that projected me forward until I went through the military, and then I got out of the military. And after I got out of the military, I went to music school at Musicians Institute in Hollywood. And since then, I graduated in 2012. I've been doing this professionally.
Oh, that's awesome.
So yeah, all that high technical guitar playing is really where you're offline. You were talking earlier about how where you come from is the home of bluegrass, and you've got a little bit of that in you, but it's not your thing,
right? Yeah.
Who are your favorite guitar players and stuff, right?
I'd say my favorite guitar players are Jimi Hendrix, Stevie Ray Vaughan, and probably a more modern one, Matt Bellamy from Muse.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Something else. And
yeah, technology too.
Close third would be Mark Tremonti.
Yeah.
Listen-
I've seen him. Killer. Wow.
Listening to you got this you've done so much stuff, but this new EP that's out, and that's kind of what I'll be listening to, because I thought normally I'll go into the back stuff, but you guys have got so much stuff that the first thing I listened to, I thought you sounded a lot like Living Colour. I think it was Unspoken, which is probably my favorite track so far of those things. So were they an influence, Living Colour? Does that seem to fit?
And you're the first person who put that together immediately, actually, that I at least had an interview with. So
that's what I do.
Classic. Yes, that beginning with the quote. It was either JFK or FDR. I can't remember. But
FDR.
Yes, using the quote to open the song was definitely the In Living Color influence. Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. I know exactly where that's from. Actually, that thing you said, that thing that says it on at the start of that Unspoken, is from a debate between a black author, James Baldwin, and a white conservative author during the height of the race stuff in the 60s. So perfect. I loved it. But the feel, I was talking about the feel as well, not so much the intro. You know, of that thing.
You mean like what?
The feel was like Living Colour. The feel of the song for me had a bit of Living Colour, real riffy.
Yes.
Riffy sort of stuff, you know. Yeah.
Cult of Personality is
Cult of Personality. That's the one I'm thinking of. Yeah.
I love it. Felt that on the radio. Absolutely. Yeah.
But Hendrix is
relevant about this is that whereas 40 years ago when I was born, the question of having to deal with what is unspoken by the subject, what is never said to the master, we're having to deal with this reality, very remote possibility was in no one's mind. When I was growing up, I was taught in American history books that Africa has no history, and neither did I. But I was a savage, about whom the less said the better, enslaved by Europe and brought to America. Everyone else seemed to agree. If you walk out of Harlem, ride out of Harlem, downtown, the world agrees. What you see is much bigger, cleaner, whiter, richer, safer than where you are. And of course I believed it. I didn't have much choice.
Radio whispers on the wind, sky the writings on the wall. Sweet stench of truth that made has gone and deceived you all. Listen that and make your own. Feast your lies for the day. Your own needs keep you locked in chains, and that's how it's gonna stay. Yeah. Leave the age of information. Ignorance is a choice. You know we've had it all along. When system failed, then this is what I'll tell you. When your heart
Hendrix and
is
Stevie Ray Vaughan, both as guitar players who you cited as influences, have got that same funk in them too, right? Like they're bluesy, funky, all that sort of pentatonic sort of space sounds too, though, right?
Yeah. Well, I tried to not. Well, the thing they all have in common is that they take a established set of playing and then they try to do something more with it. That's that. And that's really an approach that I took to at least me differentiating myself in music school, because that's something that you have to face. You're standing there next to what's probably going to be the next generation of best guitarists you've ever seen. And you have to stand up and do something that if you're not fluid, absolutely technical, then you really have to put your authenticity, your stamp onto the music, and you have to figure out what that is. And so that was a process that I went through. And so Jimi Hendrix, Stevie Ray Vaughan, Matt Bellamy, and Mark Tremonti all did that. That's something they differentiated themselves by taking what we've already known and giving it back to us in a new and fresh way that's completely them. And that's what I
boundaries.
And your other point of difference is the messages that you have in these songs as well, Sean. So I know from reading your stuff with PTSD, I got it around the wrong way, PTSD. So when did that enter your brain? You thought, I'm not just going to be a shredder. I'm going to be a shredder with a message.
Well, I think the need to express myself came before
then.
Yeah, I mean, like I to me, it's more about the message. Like
yeah,
it's
of course.
Yeah.
I like to remind myself of the Joker thing. It's not about the money. It's about sending a message. And that's how I approach this music. Is I wanted people to listen to the lyrics in relation to the music, not just sitting there and it's a groovy beat. No, it's fun, and it's not supposed to be fun. I'm describing the horrific end of a society, and the deft feelings that comes from that. It's like watching something that you can't unsee. It's like watching an entire area of a mountain burn, and you're standing on the other mountain, and the only thing you can think about is, I hope it doesn't come to my mountain. But guess what?
Yeah.
But with your military background, some of that experience is what you brought to it as well, right?
Yes, absolutely.
What you've seen, what you've lived.
Yes, very much so. It's about, I found a lot of times I would try to talk to people about the specific instances in the military, and sometimes they couldn't handle it. Sometimes it was too much for them to listen, to think that when it made it so personal, and the person who's standing right in front of you is telling you about something that you find you can't imagine yourself in, you can't imagine them in, and there's no real frame of reference. It all just feels like, well, it should be part of a movie. When you're in a situation, for me, you then have to figure out a new way to express to them so that they still get it. You can't give up what you're talking about. You just have to put it in another way in which they can understand. And to me, that was really the goal, was not to describe the specifics, but to describe the feelings that go from the specifics that I explain later in the articles and in my own blog. And I talk about a lot of the experiences that I've had, and the specific ones that are related to some of these songs. And I want to have that be the thing that goes, not just, oh, he went through this, and oh, it's a crazy experience. Yeah, okay. No, it's not a song about getting blown up, but it is, and everything that comes afterwards. That's exactly what it's about.
Yeah, I think one of the difficult things, and Australia's got a lot of great, I guess we'll call them protest bands. I guess we got, I don't know if you've ever heard of Midnight Oil. They're one of our greatest protest bands. So you've got a message, and you send it to your audience, but your audience is already there on your side. So how I always think it's difficult. How do you get it to the people we want to get it to? The people that can change, who probably aren't your fans.
Yeah, that is something that normally most artists would be like, I'm going to leave that up to the marketing department.
Yes.
There is no marketing department anymore. It's you, mate.
That's right.
Right.
You're everything.
Conversation with myself,
You're your own A&R guy.
Yeah. So I think that there's you have to start with, you have to think of the different ways and where those people are going.
Yes.
Where do they congregate? What do they listen to? What do they interact with? And if you get on those platforms, then obviously you can reach them, and whatever that takes, be it money, be it time, be it a manager to liaise through the entire thing, then that's what you'll have to build. But then you usually only get singularly focused, and then everything becomes an episode of Detroit Rock City. If we just get then everything will be okay. But that's not how the industry works. You have to prepare yourself for the diversity that is going to come at you. For example, a lot of the people who I've worked with are conservative Republicans, and some of them are on varying levels of whether or not they agree or disagree with Donald Trump as president. In the end, that can't really matter because you're trying to reach the audience, and you can't just shut off somebody and say, I'm not going to deal with you because I don't like something that you have to say. If you're trying to go after getting the message to the most people as possible, who gives a shit?
Yeah, okay.
To help you put the music out there, even if they're saying this guy is, some crazy cuckoo who doesn't, understand a damn thing. I'm happy to fight that battle with them. I'm happy to prove to you just how much I fucking know. And I will, and I'll make you feel like shit afterwards. That's a battle I can fight. But if they never even give me a section of the microphone, then I can't even win the battle because I never fight the war.
Yeah, and it's really interesting what you were just saying, Sean, because so much of the world now, we've got our echo chambers where we're only listening to people that we have the same idea or opinion of, and we're not open, or we're openly discounting or vilifying people that think differently. And I think if we are to get the right messages out there, we've got to be open for debate and open for discussion and open for sharing. And being respectful of that on either side. And absolutely 100%. Can I talk about the music for a little bit? Because I'll share an interesting anecdote. The other day when I was talking to Braggy in relation to your music, and we were starting the research that we normally do, go in and start listening to stuff. And I said, Braggy, these guys are a bit heavy, right? And we started playing Skeleton Chair, right? And Braggy says, oh, that doesn't sound real heavy, because it's this real mesh of styles, right? And it's interesting, your journey now, when I've heard it, you've gone from choir into opera into what you're doing now. So it's like, wow, what a journey. But you're also describing yourself fundamentally as a rock, punk, grunge, metal band. But it depends on which part of the song you're listening to, because it's such a diverse array within each and every song. Is that something that you've really honed in on, or is that something that's coming naturally as you put songs together?
They were all choices. Yes. Every time, especially for this record, it's absolutely a choice. One of the songs that I've got up on my Spotify that hasn't gotten nearly as much attention as the others is a song called One Last Chance. And it's not on Aversion to Normalcy, but it is pop and R&B to the fucking max, man. And I made it specifically like that because I wanted to do something different and still carry the message through an entirely different style. So Skeleton Chair, to me, is like a slight pivot into SCP, Smashing Pumpkins kind of grunge, and all the other songs are varying degrees of somewhere between Soundgarden, Metallica, Iron Maiden, somewhere between modern rock, and I'm living it in that bubble, musically speaking, because to me, I want to say that they're all related. They're all right next.
Yeah. So
Sweat to dry.
So Bedroom Inc. is a nod to your Metallica.
Yes,
Yeah.
and especially from our album Antiquate Hate, we had a song called Drink to Forget, and that one was like I felt like I was almost ripping off Metallica, and I had to check to make sure and I wasn't, and I'm really, really happy about it. But people were like, check that shit, because it sounds like something Metallica would write. And I'm like,
that's fine. You can't steal from a thief.
No, but as a shapeshifter genre hopper, shape-shifting genre hopper, wouldn't you almost call it prog in a way?
Yeah.
For me, yeah. I mean, I think it's an aggressive version of known. And so that's I've been trying to find the right way to say it, because and at least set people up to understand what they're going to hear,
where it's coming from.
Yeah, but for the longest time, I've just been like, listen to it. Don't say
yeah. I mean, if you're writing songs with messages, the more ears you're going to hit with different genres, the better it's going to be. Going back to your last answer, where you talked about One Last Chance, that is on an album for the Numberella charity organization, which I was reading about, which I think is for giving kids who normally wouldn't get an education. How did you get involved with that, Sean?
Well, actually, I get newsletters from this British radio promoter, and it's called Use Music, and they sent out a thing, just an email saying, does anybody have any songs that go along with a slightly hopeful message for people who to try and educate people in Indonesia who don't have a lot. And I'm like, well, I'll send in One Last Chance and see if it goes. And they got back to me very quickly and were like, yes, please let us. And I was very surprised that it went the way that it did. But I'm really happy to be, to have a song on that, because it at least from what I've seen, seems like a very well-meaning charity, and they're fighting a very large battle with not a lot. And I'm a fan of underdogs, so
could pick that. I could pick that.
And education is really one of the big answers to all this shit.
Everyone's here.
Through. Yeah,
more education.
So you recorded this in Nashville at Blackbird Studios. I've seen pictures of that. That looks freaking amazing. And who's recorded Dolly Parton, I think, and a whole bunch of famous names. That must have been a buzz.
Yeah, even the Swift, Miley Cyrus.
Oh wow.
Mark Tremonti and Alter Bridge, they recorded there too. It's that walking into that studio, it's got the real tall ceilings and everything is very stylized. It's a lot of times I got used to walking in, like the best you'd walk into somebody's home studio and they've got paneling or something.
Big curtains, yeah.
Nice, but it's like their studio. But this studio is made to be the swankiest thing that you've been in for a studio, and it's made to be extra. All of the seating and everything is super comfortable. Like everything is like if you sit anywhere, you just can easily fall asleep and be like, this is the most comfortable spot in the entire place. And you'll sit in the next one, and it's slightly more comfortable than the other one. So. It's one of those, and this is just everything, regardless of the top of the line of recording space you can imagine in the world. We recorded at the two of the main studios that they use, Studio B, which is their 9-section recording room. So their live room has 9 different satellite rooms around it, in which you can record an entire full orchestra. Like they had Ray Charles recorded his stuff in there. So they had filling out that room and having every space on the entire board filled with sound coming through. And I just can't imagine, because we did bass, guitar, and drums, and we had maybe a 26 mic setup for the drums, and it was highly involved, and it's why it sounds the way it does. And when we had all of that coming through, it just didn't look like shit. It was nothing compared to how big the room was. And it was awesome to record in that. But also for the vocals, we were able to record in what I call the Massenburg room. And it's the room that they model that has 110,000 one-by-one wood sticks that are placed mathematically in the room to make it as dead as possible.
Jeez.
They normally use it as a Dolby Atmos surround sound room. They have like 12 massive speakers in there that you have to move around so that you can walk through the room.
Can't move them.
It's really, really unbelievable. And we got to do all the vocals in that room. And it was really, truly an experience to feel, because that room feels like you're singing in a 5,000. If you put a good echo on it, and they have a lot of good echoes or a good reverb, it sounds exactly like you're singing in that room. And you take off your headphone, like in the room that's made from the reverb. But when you take off your headphones and you can hear the reverb through the speakers and what's coming through, it still sounds like you're in that 5,000 foot, 5,000 seat arena or 5,000 seat theater. And it's truly amazing how it just transports you into the music, and you feel like you're in it. And that's what you get to record in. It's the coolest thing ever.
And Rossy, how's that been for you in your little studio where you've been recording?
Well, look, I've been to some lovely studios, but most studios I've been in should be condemned.
It's about recording the soul, though, really, isn't it? In the end.
It is. I like it when they treat them mean, keep them keen.
Yeah. That's what I'm used to recording in too. Is go and find the dude who can give you the cheapest, room rate, and that you can record it for the cheapest amount possible. And then, I decided to do the opposite. I decided to see how good I could get it. Because every I made the best. I tried to make $1 out of 15 cents, but this time I got my money's worth.
I've got an anecdote. I was talking to someone. Someone was talking to us about a particular record and was like going, "Oh, I think the so and so took too long recording that record. We could have done that in 2 days. Blah blah blah." I said, "Yeah, but listen to it. What's the difference? The difference is if you spend the money, you can hear the difference. You really can.
Yeah.
You really can. And it's awful to say, but like I often talk about records sounding expensive, don't I? And that's the difference, right?
Yeah.
Records sound expensive.
True.
That does sound expensive, and that's right.
Yeah, sounds great.
And that's why,
Yeah.
You put the investment in. Sean, Braggy mentioned very early that it's been a bit of a complex story around the quarantine. Albums out in 2013, even, some music out. What's the biggest challenge that you're currently facing? And I guess what kept you going? Because, at the end of the day, we talk to a lot of artists who have just started putting music out in the last year or two, or COVID was their catalyst to start writing songs. You've been going for a while. And I guess what's the biggest challenge that you face at the moment and continuing to face within getting your music out?
There's so many problems. the most. I mean, that like Sophie's Choice in a way. The touring outlook is very. I can see you wince at it just by mentioning it. That's what I mean. Like the outlook for touring is kind of weird right now, and that's putting it really, really nicely. And so there's that's very problematic. But also at the same time, I feel like there's and this is from people that I've talked to, there's about a 50-50 chance that just about anybody that you talk to in the music industry will either try to or is actively looking to fuck you over. And the fact that you're at a 50% chance of means that the most important member of your band has to be your lawyer.
Oh,
wow.
Yeah.
The most important, more important than me. It has to be the lawyer, because the lawyer is the one who's going to be able to set up the longevity of the entire brand.
Wow.
He can't.
There are so many landmines, aren't there?
Yes, there are. And if you get a really, really good lawyer, then you'll be able to at least mitigate some of the problems or avoid them altogether. They've read the inside of the top of the box, and they know how the game is played. And if you are able to get a good lawyer who's not a screwball and knows what's going on and can defend you and is perfectly fine in defending you, then you've got a good, decent chance to get through the gauntlet that is the music industry when you have to outsource to everything to independent contractors all the time. Every marketing bit outsourced, every touring bit outsourced, every single promotional bit outsourced, album art outsourced, every single thing, including the recording. You have to outsource, and you have to be able to know and understand and trust the people that you're working with. And that takes a lot of personal intelligence, book intelligence, and street smart intelligence in order to see through people so that you can actually get what you want. Just because you have a good idea and an ability to make it through doesn't mean you will. And that's rough.
It's rough because a lot of people are clueless, right? Or they think, I've been a tour manager. I've played, but I've been doing it for 40 odd years, and it's insane. Like what you have to put up with. Like nowadays they sell these new things. Like you go to a venue, they want to cut your merch. Hang on, which bit did you do? Because I put all my capital into it. I've invested the capital to put this out. I'm now selling a T-shirt for $25, for example. And they want to whack another $8 on it, which could be the difference between a sale or not. And so they want a margin for doing nothing. And then you've got agents and bookers. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. It does your head in, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You can't trust them.
When I went through music school, they were the biggest thing that classes that I took were how to DIY the shit. Like how to DIY every single aspect of what a major label does for their artists. And essentially it's like trying to make a Frankenstein out of a mouse. Like it's really, really difficult. You have to either get a shit ton of mice or find one weird ass mouse and make something that's really intricate, and you've got some sewing skills then. It's or you find different ways to access the market where you're going deliberately for the market. And that's what all these AI artists are doing. They're bypassing the entire aspect of having a fan base or having other people interact with your music. It's about racking up the numbers, and it's about having that is going to exactly excite the algorithm, and they know that. And that's why they do. Not because it's good music. It's because they can manipulate enough things to make it worth their while.
It's a whole lot of different things.
Yeah, it's just like
your Instagram, your Spotify numbers are great. Really.
Well, they're great. They're great by Australian standards, Rossy. But I'm not sure if that's great by American standards.
That's right.
Scale.
That's right. It's scale, right?
Thankful for the numbers that we've been getting. They're way the hell more than anything that I've gotten on my own, and it's because I was able to contract the right people to get it to the right places and play the game that I didn't know how to play. And that's a very important aspect of this, the whole music industry nowadays.
Yeah, we talk with Rossy and I kind of talk about this a lot. Like when punk came out in the 70s, it was a real do-it-yourself thing. You had your own label, you try and record it all yourself. But then at least you could sell records and make some money back. And now they've kind of taken that away from us as well, with the sense you get from a stream on Spotify. So you really got it to
a service. Music is a commodity versus music as a service now.
Right.
Yeah, good point.
That's very, very good point. And the thing that I'm thinking is that both still exist. Just because one is there doesn't mean the other one doesn't exist. It's one of the things that I'm looking into doing is using AI to find venues that are breweries that accept live music but don't do ticketed sales, and then go to a whole bunch of those and play as a cover artist and sell the music on the side. And that is a much easier platform to get on for live shows that still has an audience, and I don't need to personally generate it. You know,
perfect.
Like, so this there's still, and if I was to do that, then take a whole bunch of CDs of all of my records, especially Aversion to Normalcy, and sell them, even though I didn't play a song on the entire night, they're probably still going to buy it because they stuck around long enough and liked what they heard of me singing classics to them.
Yeah. Good point.
So I'm playing to the market. I'm not playing my music. I'm playing to the market.
Yeah.
And if you do that and are able to set aside the ego that fuels the other end, that it always has to be my music, it always has to be this. If you're willing to play Brown Eyed Girl enough times to where people dance to it, maybe it's worth it to get the chance to sell actual music to them.
I'd love
universal.
Yeah, I would love to hear your version of Brown Eyed Girl, just quietly, Sean. So I was looking at your YouTube channel and some of your live. I mean, even with an acoustic guitar and drums at the back, I think that's about it from what I can see on some of them. It is still such a unique sound, a unique voice. It's I'd love to hear Brown Eyed Girl. So
attack.
Let's go back. Sorry, I was going to go back to the music, and because I had a couple of questions about some of the songs.
Yeah.
But what I really like, I listened to Nemesis, and it's got horrific lyrics in it, and I was thinking, what is this song? Is Nemesis friend of mine? Are you singing about yourself? But then I read the article where you were, after you came back from service, you're in the PSD and you met a guy there. Is that song about that guy you met who you said was a bit of an arsehole, but he kind of liked you?
That is very good investigative work, but no. You're real close.
Okay.
So Nemesis is a compilation of every bully that I've had in my life, and I've known a lot. They get attracted to me, and in the end, they get hyper focused, and then I have to crush their fucking nuts. So just how it goes. But nonetheless, I know the profile, and so I can see when someone and understand when someone is looking at you contemptuously. It's very easy, even though they're being friendly. That doesn't mean they're your friend.
Nah.
And it's very important for people to start understanding that, and especially for me, because it's been a matter of life and death for me, you know, and not just in the military. To know and understand personality profiles and understand that everybody is subject to them, including you, including me.
The world's full of sociopaths.
Right. And if you understand how to mitigate those things, you won't ever get ahead of them. Because if you're a nice, well-meaning person walking into a room full of wolves, you're going to find out, maybe not so quickly until it's all taken from you, just how badly that can go. So with this, the idea was to paint the picture of the quintessential Nemesis person who, you know, bullies and threatens and intimidates, bullies and repress every single person he could strive for success. That's the profile given right there. And it's in the beginning of the second verse. So so the story is driven by the interaction of that. And it's really, the song is about forgiveness of self. It's about learning to forgive yourself, though you may have been tricked, though you may have been brutalized, though you may have been abused. you need to still forgive yourself in order to get over the anger at the people who have perpetrated it against you. So even if you are a victim, you still have a process to go through of healing.
It's right around the corner, it's right around the bend. A future with no love and dare, with no end. That's what they say to me today with a dirty fucking smile. But I pulled myself out of fear, been crawling for miles. Today I found back to that Nemesis friend of mine. It kept me up awake at night, seemingly lost in time. He dusted off new ways to get his revenge, but I bring death and destruction to get to my story's end. To this memory, it's funny, it flows like a melody, but sometimes seems more like the future of my enemies. I remember it like yesterday, playing through my mind, the whole night of blur. Then it quickly unwinds us, travel back in time to another culture. Before I could ever say I told you so, put truth in a cold shoulder. See, what he always never had were friends who wouldn't stab his back, and all the while a mother who could not stop smoking crack. And a father never gave two shits in a can of beer, who beat him like a stepchild, but the bloodline is clear. Nobody ever knew it, and no one ever guessed that this one's lost and lonely kid who grew up to be a menace. It's right around the corner, it's right around the bend. A future with no love and terror, with no end. That's what they say to me today with a fucking smile. But I pulled myself out of fear, I'm crawling from my hell. It's right around the corner, it's right around the bend. A future with no love and terror, with no end. That's what they say.
Pick yourself up. There's enough people doing it for you.
You get your message across one-to-one very well, Sean. So
That's good, mate. Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So hopefully that goes into the music as well, and the same outcome happens.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
No worries.
Positive without being a pushover.
Yeah.
And it's a hard line to do, you know?
It is.
But
Yeah.
absolutely.
Sean, I'm going to start winding her up. It's been awesome speaking with you, but I've started to close down the shows with a couple of questions that I'd like to hear from. Firstly, complex world that we live in, your complex journey to get to where you're going. You've got a message that you want to share, but how do you protect your well-being as an artist in your space? How do you protect yourself?
Self-care. It's for me, I try to stay on a balanced, to seek balance. It took a long time of understanding of what was going on with me, to turn around and question what I'm feeling. I had to, because PTSD made my nervous system go out of control. I would be calmest, most nicest place, and I'd be fucking freaking out. And I had to ask myself why, and eventually go through the process of trying to mitigate the feelings through cognitive behavioral therapy to be able to mitigate those feelings. And then I was on an even keel enough to try and tackle the complexity of just social relationships, so I wanted to try and I'm sorry, I lost my train of thoughts.
Gotcha. No, I completely get that. That's
It's hard talking about yourself.
It is.
Yeah. But there was a long journey. I lots and lots of therapy.
Cognitive therapy is a good thing, though. Cognitive behavioral therapy, I've come across that before, and it's actually a very handy thing.
Absolutely.
A woman who's a Jungian psychologist who specialised in that. It was really interesting.
Yeah.
It's
and fantastic answer. Self-care, it's one of the things that many people put right at the lower end of their priorities and care for. We've all got commitments, we've all got responsibilities, but we've got to look after ourselves to be able to look after others in many, many cases. And just the final question, Sean, what's the one undiscovered fact about you and the quarantine that your fans will not know?
Good question, Curly.
Hey, good question, Curly. Well done, Braggy.
Yeah.
Well, if they won't know,
Well,
then
this
why?
is the time to know.
Don't tell. Yeah.
So we're looking for a scoop.
So something that that fans of the quarantine should know that they don't know.
No,
Yeah.
just something that
Yeah,
that'll do.
Yeah, that's good.
Something new. You are a bit of an open book, I've got to say.
Yeah, it's pretty hard.
I like
I
that.
don't know exactly where to go. Like to reveal something from past, or reveal something that I'm going to do.
Have you got a guilty music pleasure that people
Yeah.
mightn't think?
Okay. Okay.
I'm waiting for
Yeah,
this.
maybe that song on your playlist that you wouldn't admit to having on your playlist. How's that?
A cover you really like playing that people wouldn't think you'd like playing.
Brown Eyed Girl. He's already done that. Come on.
No, okay. So I'll tell you this. This is actually kind of fun. So I have there's a few different pop artists that I really like. And when I was younger, because I sang, and the most popular bands at the time were boy bands at that time. So they were like, "So what, Sean? You play guitar? You gonna join a boy band? Hey, you know?" And so I always had to fight against this thing of to not be a boy band guy. And so eventually, what I did in a chorus concert, we have these recitals that are very, very prim and proper, and everybody's dressed up to the nines, and they're wearing, tuxedo kind of things. And so we decided we're going to do a lip sync, not even a real singing, even though we all can sing. We're going to do a lip sync of, what was it? It was, I think it was
Boys to Men.
No, like that would have been too much. It was like Backstreet Boys or NSYNC.
Oh, Backstreet Boys, yeah.
Yes, and we dressed up as, in like full costumes that were just ridiculous. I've got a fantastic picture of it, of me like doing some Saturday night.
That's great.
That's
something like one of the things. So I guess it's a long way around is that I've got a good humorous streak, and I like making fun of things. Yeah. I like to have an aspect of sarcasm and humor. And the thing that's coming out, actually, this can be the real answer, is there's a single coming out that I haven't really talked about yet called Instagram Hell. That is very, very tongue in cheek, and and to me, it's very funny. So it's going to show a nice humorous side to the band that's, more like Tenacious D, or that kind of humorous and rock.
Wow.
Sean, if you can take the piss out of yourself, as we say in Australia, like degrade yourself, you'll go a long way in Australia, because that's really big part of our culture. Self-deprecating, yeah.
Absolutely. All right, so the new album comes out in just a couple of days. Aversion to Normalcy. You've got some new singles. We wish you the very greatest of luck, because it's been awesome speaking with you. What's your favorite? What's the best social media platform for people to follow you on?
TikTok by far.
Okay.
Cool.
Awesome. So we'll make sure we've added some of your songs into our Unfiltered, Undiscovered playlist, every damn song on Spotify. We will make sure that your links to your music are in our show notes. Sean, absolutely a joy speaking with you. It's always very humbling for us to speak to someone from the US who wants to come in and talk to us three old blokes from Aussie. It's been, and someone as unique in your perspective of music and what you're putting out. I think it's been a great opportunity for us, and we've really enjoyed speaking with you. And we look forward to being able to do it again in the future. If you want to grace us with some time again, we'd love to catch up with you as your journey continues. So thanks heaps. So, and that's a bit of a call out to everyone else that's listening. If you do want to showcase your music, please reach out. Sean's reached out to us. And we were more than happy to have Sean come on the show. So please, if you want to showcase your music, if you just want to talk music, as Sean said, we probably didn't talk a lot about the new album coming out with so many other things that we talked about today. But yeah, please reach out to us. If you've loved what you heard, hit follow, share the show. Dig deeper on our playlists. They're available on Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube Music, and Amazon Music. We've got more artists, more stories, and more reasons to listen. This is Unfiltered and Undiscovered. Once again, thanks again, Sean. And always thanks to Braggy and Rossy, and for everyone else. We will see you next week. Bye for now. Well, that's a wrap for this episode of the Unfiltered and Undiscovered podcast. If you've liked what you've heard, please do us a favor. Hit follow, leave a rating, and share it with a mate who needs some new music and a little bit of laughter in their lives. We're all about discovering the songs that actually mean something. So if you're into raw talent, great stories, and music that hits you right in the guts, you're in the right place, and we'd love to see you back again next week. Don't forget our Spotify playlists. Every damn song, every track we've ever talked about, rising female country artists, and undiscovered covers. And just now, they're not just available on Spotify. You'll also find them on YouTube Music and Apple Music as well. Now, we will be back next week with more music, more stories, and probably some more arguments. But that's what keeps us unfiltered. We'll see you next week.